Kill me! I'm here! Kill me!
Hey everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you with my review of Rocky Balboa, the 2006 movie in the Rocky franchise that is the second last that I'm going to be reviewing because let's face it, there aren't any more after that, so I can't really keep going, can I? I mean, I could start making up films, that could be kind of interesting. I could review Rocky 17 and just make up the entire thing. That might be kind of fun, actually. But anyways, I'm a big fan of this movie. I thought it was such a breath of fresh air after the garbage file that was Rocky 5. It's so mind-boggling to me that they made such a better movie when Rocky was so much older. And it became, I remember when this movie came out, I was feeling a little bit incredulous that this existed because it seemed like such a ridiculous concept that a man his age would be fighting again against a boxer that's supposed to be of the caliber of the character of Mason Dixon Line, but the heavyweight champion of the world. I was pretty incredulous about that whole concept. When I actually watched the movie, it came across very believable and very fun. And don't get me wrong, the concept in real life never happened. I mean, the idea that Rocky at that point in his life would be able to come up and fight the heavyweight champion is just absolutely ludicrous. But, you know, as a film, you sit back and you watch it and you are able to suspend your disbelief and just really buy into it, and it just is really good. Now, if I was going to put this movie in a ranking of the films, it's interesting because my heart wants to say that it's right near the top, that I enjoy it as much as I would enjoy like the first one or Rocky 4 or well, I guess this one. But there's other parts of me that think maybe it should be on the lower end because you have the character of Mason the Dixon Line, or what is it? Mason the Line Dixon. That's what it is. Just a character that I find to be just rife with blandness. I mean, he just lacks anything that even remotely is interesting. He's just such an archetype. Basically, he's this guy who is the heavyweight champion of the world, but nobody gives him his due that he feels he deserves. Basically, everybody sees him as a weak champion, and he's just overcome with emotion that he doesn't get that respect. And then he sees on the TV this basically video game fight between him and Rocky, and he's like, oh, everybody thinks Rocky, I'll fight him. And it's pretty bad, and like really it's very similar to what you had in the first movie with Apollo Creed, where you have this boxer who fights Rocky and doesn't give him any credit, doesn't think that he has a chance in hell, and then is surprised by the intestinal fortitude of Rocky. And so on that end, you know, there's something to that because you're going back to the roots of the series. But because he's just so bland and lacks any charisma and any oomph, it's really, that part of it's kind of hard to take. On the other end of the spectrum, you have Rocky's story going into the movie, which I think is fascinating. You find out that Adrian's died. He's got a strained relationship with his son. Paulie isn't what he used to be. He's lost Apollo. He's lost Mickey. He's lost so much. He's operating this restaurant, and he goes and talks to people, and he seems to really sincerely have a lot of fun doing that, but he also kind of comes off like a bit of a shell of his former self. And then you have these two people come together and they to have a boxing match, and when you're watching it, it's like I said before, you know, the whole concept is ludicrous, but when you're watching it, you're like, it's Rocky again, and like the fight sequences are great. My only complaint is some of the way in which they kind of go forward in the rounds, because obviously they can't show the entire fight because it would be way too long to have in the movie. But the way that they kind of do it, where like it's not really so much of a montage as like kind of like flash forwards. I just didn't really care about that as much because I mean it's essentially the same thing where you're getting little tidbits of the fight or whatever, but it felt like it was a bit of a disservice to some of the stuff. It felt like it was a bit too quick. But with that aside, the whole fight sequence at the end is awesome, which really, let's be honest, is very integral to enjoyment of a Rocky movie. I just think this movie on a lot of levels works, and unfortunately on one level, not so much. So those are my thoughts on Rocky Balboa. Let me know in the comments below what you think, where you would put it in the franchise, just anything that you want to say. Please, please, please hit that like button, hit that share button. It makes it much more likely that other people will come and check out my stuff that wouldn't have otherwise, and I'd be endlessly appreciative if you could do that for me. me because it would just mean the world. And if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I love talking to people about movies, and I would love to have you here to be able to give me your thoughts and have back and forth. That would just be awesome. Other than that, hey, why don't you have yourself a good day? Rocky!